I've read the police reports and feel ashamed, embarrassed, and hurt because that's not the person I am.
Get me out of here, man! Get the fuck out of here! No, man, get me out of here! Get me out of here, man! What the fuck you mean, nigga? Get me the fuck out of here!
This man is standing trial today over deeply troubling allegations involving inappropriate behavior with a minor. Due to content rules, we can't disclose the girl's exact age, but make no mistake, she was far too young for any of the explanations he's about to offer in court. He entered the courtroom trying to appear regretful, attributing his actions to heavy drinking and insisting that he's turned over a new leaf. He tried painting a picture of personal growth and claimed he now sees the error of his ways, but that illusion quickly faded. The moment the judge brought up the defendant's actions after his initial arrest details, that painted a very different picture. His entire demeanor began to crack. His calm, composed act gave way to visible stress, and the courtroom tension skyrocketed. And if you caught that distorted footage at the beginning, it wasn't some technical issue. That was a glimpse of what would become a complete emotional breakdown. Trust me, you'll witness the full scene unfold in just a moment. Let's get into it and see exactly how things unraveled in that courtroom.
First and foremost, I'd like to apologize to the courts for appearing before them today. I'd like to apologize to the victim in this case. I'm not going to use alcohol or drugs as an excuse for anything. However, alcohol was a main factor in this case. But I take full responsibility for my actions because I chose to make the irresponsible decision consuming too much alcohol than I could handle, causing poor, regretful choices leading to my incarceration. I've read the police reports and feel ashamed, embarrassed, and hurt because that's not the person I am. And I wouldn't be standing here today if I would have just been more responsible. I have 4 younger children that I've let down because of being locked away from them, missing out on watching them grow. Having to deal with that is a heartache alone. The only thing I can do now is work on myself while incarcerated, take advantage of all programs they offer, and become a better man and a better father, and not give up doing so. I have to make this my last time in jail, and I plan to. I'm sincerely remorseful to my victim in this case, letting her down when I was supposed to be a father figure in her life. I beat myself up over this every day. Over this, wishing I could take it all back. I just hope she can grow up in life and leave this in the past, and that it doesn't affect her future. Again, I'm sorry to everyone I caused pain to in this case.
That so-called apology, it wasn't meant for the victim, was directed straight at the judge. Every word was carefully crafted to win sympathy from the bench, not to show genuine remorse to the person he harmed. What he's really begging for is a lighter sentence, not forgiveness. He repeatedly pointed the finger at alcohol, as if being drunk somehow erased the damage. But the justice system doesn't hand out free passes based on what someone had to drink. The focus is and always will be on what you actually did and the laws you broke in the process. To make matters worse, he even described himself as a father figure to the victim. In this situation, that only deepens the discomfort. That kind of language isn't just toned to fit, makes the betrayal feel even more severe. Honestly, the whole thing felt like a performance. Every part seemed carefully prepared, except the one that really mattered: taking responsibility and judging. By the look on the judge's face, even the court could see right through it.
Why did you call her after you were in jail?
Because I was told by the detective I was allowed to.
Okay.
I didn't call her, I called my wife and she answered the phone.
All right. And what contact did you have with her about retracting her statement or modifying her statement?
It wasn't retracting. We talked about counseling, going to counseling and stuff, because that was something that they was talking about making them do, and something she said she didn't want to do.
Well, trying to, whether directly contacting her or contacting her through your wife, was wholly inappropriate. And it was further evidence of you trying to take advantage of her at that young age, like you did when this happened.
Now she had asked the detective if she can have contact with me when this case was all started. Then when I went to my preliminary hearing on February 11th, I asked the detective and he told me the same thing.
All right. Well, you're experienced enough in the system to have the wisdom that you shouldn't have been contacted. Okay. In talking to her, having about anything having to do with this case. So you've in your statement, you say you apologize to her, but then in the pre-sentence report, you talk about how you don't believe you did everything you're accused of doing and wanted to take this to trial. What's that all about?
I don't remember exactly what I said, Your Honor, but what I was saying was I don't have recollection of what happened the night of. So I wasn't admitting to, I don't know what happened.
Right now, he's walking a very fine line, trying to admit just enough to appear guilty, while dodging the uncomfortable details. That's not remorse. That's strategy. And when you're standing before a judge, strategy can only take you so far. The moment he claimed he couldn't recall certain parts of what happened, the mask slipped. In cases this serious, memory lapses are rarely taken at face value. To the court, it often means one thing: you're not confronting the truth. You're shielding yourself from it, and any goodwill he may have built up earlier with his so-called apology. That evaporated the second he started picking and choosing what to own up to. In high-stakes cases like this, selective memory doesn't inspire sympathy, raises red flags. You could almost see the shift in the judge's expression. Whatever patience was there moments ago seemed to vanish. This wasn't about hearing him out anymore. This was about consequences and judging. By the tone and body language, the court is about to deliver a sentence that reflects the full weight of what he's been avoiding.
So did you or didn't you do this stuff?
Yes.
And I got to tell you, it doesn't get much worse than this kind of stuff.
I understand.
And I would note in the record that in 2009 or 2010, you were sentenced to prison on a burglary, released on judicial release, and then returned to prison after a violation of the judicial release. And you were released January 7th of 13. You went back to prison on another case on May 1st of 13 and got out in August. Went to prison on an attempted burglary, trespass in a habitation, breaking and entering, June 23 of 16 through August 5 of 18. A whole bunch of theft offenses between that last prison sentence and where you are today. So you've had a lifetime of criminal activity, but none worse than what has occurred here. So I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the victim impact statement. I've considered what you have said, what counsel has said, and I've also considered that they've made a joint recommendation of 96 months in prison. And so on count, and I've considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 29, 29, 12, 13, and 14. consideration of all that, on count 5, I'm going to sentence you to a term of 60 months. On count 6, I'm going to sentence you to a term of 60 months that will be consecutive to one another, with credit for 143 days. And consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public from future crime by you and for appropriate punishment.
All right, get out, man. Come on, man.
Sit
Fuck
down.
you mean, man?
Stay down.
No, man. Get me the fuck out of here, man. No,
And-
fuck, took my plea back, man. Get me the fuck out of here, man. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, man. Get me out of here, man.
Almost done, Judge.
Get me the fuck out of here.
And they
No, man. Get me out of here. Get
consecutive.
me out of here, man. What the fuck you mean, nigga? Get me the fuck out of here. Man, get me the fuck out of here, nigga.
Let me get my leg.
Get me out of here, man.
Just take him into the chair.
Okay, we're in this chair.
All right.
We're kissing tomorrow.
Show me on your visiting letter
Alright.
for jail and for.
All right, man. Stop touching me, man. I'm not doing shit, man. I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing shit.
And this right here is what happens when your entire defense strategy depends on appearing. Remorseful and the judge doesn't buy it. This wasn't some emotional collapse or sudden moment of clarity. What you just saw was a delayed response to hearing one specific word: consecutive. That's when reality finally hit. The courtroom didn't flinch. The judge, the attorneys, none of them looked surprised. They've seen emotional reactions before. Maybe not quite this dramatic, but the pattern is familiar. What stood out was the irony. A man who spent the entire hearing carefully controlling his image completely lost it in the final moments. It's chaotic. It's uncomfortable, and yes, it's tragic. But it also shows exactly why courts don't hand down sentences based on words alone. Apologies can be rehearsed. Reactions can be calculated. But patterns don't lie. And in the end, that's what sentencing really comes down to, not what you say when the camera's rolling, but what your actions reveal over time. So, let's open it up. What's your take? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was this true accountability? Or just the outcome everyone saw coming? I'm here with courtroom breakdowns and case commentary every single day. So don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and stay informed.